They told you aliens were just visitors from another galaxy, but what if I told you they've been here since the beginning? Not from space, but from above. Not extraterrestrial, but extra-dimensional. And the Bible called them out thousands of years ago by name. Genesis 6:2 says, "The sons of God saw that the daughters of man were attractive, and they took as their wives any they chose." They weren't men. The Hebrew is B'nai Ha-Elohim, literally sons of the gods, and every ancient culture remembers them. The Sumerians called them Anunnaki, those who came from heaven to earth. The Greeks called them Titans, immortal giants who ruled before men. The Egyptians, they worshipped Ra, Osiris, Horus, all said to be descended from the gods who came down. But they weren't gods. They were members of the divine council. Supernatural sons of God assigned to govern the nations after Babel. You read that right. Deuteronomy 32:8 in original Hebrew says, "When the Most High gave the nations their inheritance, he fixed the borders of the peoples according to the number of the sons of God." But your KJV says sons of Israel, which is a total mistranslation. There was no Israel at Babel. Moses wasn't even born yet. The Dead Sea Scrolls, the Septuagint, and the ESV all confirm it the way it's supposed to be. God divided the nations and allotted each one to a member of the divine council. But Psalm 82 reveals the betrayal. God stands in the divine council and says, "You are gods, sons of the Most High, all of you. Nevertheless, like men, you shall die and fall like any prince." These divine sons, these Anunnaki, corrupted the nations they were assigned to. They demanded worship. They taught war, sorcery, blood sacrifice, and that's why God says in Deuteronomy 32:17, they sacrificed to demons that were no gods, to gods they had never known. Every pagan god, every mythological being, every idol behind a temple veil was real, and some of these were also from pre-flood time, but they were not divine. They were fallen heavenly beings and their hybrid offspring. Genesis 6 says these sons of God had children with human women, and the result was the Nephilim, giants renowned in every culture as the demigods of old. The Sumerians carved them in stone. The Egyptians painted them on towering pharaohs. Greeks wrote them into Mount Olympus, and we call them ancient aliens. Why? Because the same fallen beings who once ruled the ancient world are coming back, this time not as gods, but as so-called saviors from space. And there will be millions that fall for this. Just look at Göbekli Tepe, the oldest known megalithic site on Earth. Mainstream scholars say it's over 11,000 years old, predating agriculture, language, and even the wheel. Massive stone pillars weighing over 10 tons, perfectly aligned with the stars, carved with celestial knowledge modern science is still decoding. Who taught primitive hunter-gatherers how to do this? The Book of Enoch, while not scripture, preserves the same story echoed by every ancient people. The Watchers, sons of God, came down and taught mankind secrets of heaven and corrupted the earth. They showed us metallurgy, enchantments, root cutting, astrology. They built the cities and the pyramids and the altars. But after their rebellion, God sent the flood. That's why you'll find flood legends in over 200 cultures, from the Aztecs to the Aborigines. That's why the pyramids of Giza are built with impossible precision, aligned with Orion, and contain no burial remains, because they were never tombs, they were temples of the gods. But here's the part that they don't want you to hear. Carbon-14 dating is completely unreliable beyond 5,000 years. Why? Because it assumes the atmospheric ratio of carbon isotopes has remained stable in our atmosphere since the beginning, which even mainstream scientists admit is false. So when they tell you a skeleton is 20,000 years old or Göbekli Tepe is 11,600 years old, it's a house of cards. They need those massive time gaps to deny the Bible's timeline, but the evidence is on our side. Mankind did not evolve gradually. We were created, then corrupted, and then restarted. And those same fallen sons of God who ruled the pre-flood world, they didn't all die. Jude 6 says the angels who did not stay within their own position of authority and left their estate, he has kept in eternal chains under gloomy darkness. Some were bound, but others were left to roam. And after Babel, they were placed over the nations. From Babylon to Greece to Rome, from Aztec temples to Tibetan shrines, these beings rebranded themselves with new names, new symbols, and new deception. Today, they're preparing their final lie. Governments now admit UFOs exist. They call them UAPs, unidentified aerial phenomena. They're faster than light, they defy physics, they communicate telepathically and abduct people, and they paralyze them with fear, just like the fallen ones did before the flood. But Jesus already warned us in Matthew 24:37, as it was in the days of Noah, so it will be at the coming of the Son of Man. In Noah's day, the earth was full of violence, sexual corruption, and hybrid abominations. Today, we're editing DNA, creating chimera embryos, uploading minds, preparing for alien contact. But the aliens aren't coming, they're already here. They never left, and soon the world will worship them, thinking they're our creators, our saviors, our ascended masters. Revelation 13:13 says the beast will perform great signs, even making fire come down from heaven in front of men. This is the return of the gods, the same ones from Eden, from Babel, from Egypt, but this time they come with holograms, genetic upgrades, and promises of peace. Also AI. Don't be deceived. Only one came from heaven and never sinned. Only one will split the sky and come on the clouds. Only one is King of Kings, and his name is Jesus Christ, Yeshua HaMashiach, the Son of the living God. So don't fall for the lie. Because when that sky opens and these beings descend with miracles and light, it's not first contact, it's the final test. Share this message before these platforms erase it. And if this was helpful, please let us know in the comments. And like and subscribe for more true doctrine deep dives. God bless this world, God bless these United States, and God bless you and your families. Shalom, shalom, brothers and sisters. Maranatha.